Welcome to Dogs and Gooses, where, as my associate Starks always says, where the dogs are dirty and the goose is silly. Today we have two very special guests, one longtime friend of the podcast and the official president of our unofficial fan club, Joseph.
Hello.
And accompanying him, his girlfriend, Caroline.
Hello.
I know both of them from work. They used to work for me, and it's been a pleasure having them work for me. It's a pleasure having them on this podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Joseph, tell us what you've been doing for the past while. Then Caroline, tell us a little bit about you.
For the past little bit, I've been starting a company cleaning windows. So if you're in the greater Provo area and need your windows cleaned, hit me up.
And how are they going to do that?
Oh, they'll know. They'll know. If they're real fans of the podcast, they'll know to find
yeah.
It's just like the unofficial fan club.
Yeah,
That they'll know how to join.
they'll know.
Yeah,
They'll know.
they'll know.
What's your
Good to
company
know.
called?
Sparkling Vista window cleaning.
I like
Vista
it.
Window cleaning.
I like
When you finish up a job, do you look at the windows and say, "Look in Vista"?
it. What
Well, usually clear.
isn't the
The
Vista,
Vista is
some
looking into their house is a
geographical
bit.
feature?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't the Vista a geographical feature?
Yes, it's like a beautiful view.
Oh, just a beautiful view.
Beautiful natural view.
Okay.
If I might say, it sounds like you run a window cleaning business in The Sims.
Well, I do that too on the side, but that's another side project.
Doesn't make quite as much money there.
It gives me
A lot of
some
simoleons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Caroline. Currently, I'm still working for Brandon, but in my spare time, I do student teaching at a middle school, which is quite fun. I'm so close to being graduated, I can practically smell it.
What does
Yeah.
it smell like?
It smells like success. Actually, it smells like $20,000 down the drain. So,
Didn't know that was a great smell, but okay.
Success and $20,000 down the drain. Who knew those were the same thing?
well,
Williams, let's go to Vegas.
That means I've reached success because I too got a degree.
yes, correct. But it's better than spending the $20,000 and then not having anything at the end of it. So
Yeah, I
So
guess
you're
you
saying
could
Vegas
just
isn't
gamble
a
it
good
all
idea?
away.
I personally wouldn't go to Vegas, but I've
Aw.
never been. So maybe after I go once, I'll change my mind.
Hey, I like that attitude.
Thank you.
I mean, 90% of gamblers stop right before the big win.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You can't lose faith and lose sight of what's going on.
You gotta
Take
go
out
for
loans. Do
you
what you
gotta
have
go
to
for broke. Yeah, exactly.
do.
Yes, rich or bust. Go all the way, friends.
Yep. So, if it's time, Williams, I mean, we introduced our two guests.
Mhm.
Is it time for me to describe the scene before me?
Please do, Starks. It's been a crazy morning. It's been a
Okay.
wild morning for me.
I'll post a picture later onto our Facebook page for those of you that follow, and it's a summary of what the scene is before me, before Joseph and Caroline got here. So we have a large Sprite and a small Sprite, a large Dr. Pepper and a small Dr. Pepper, another large Dr. Pepper and a small Dr. Pepper, and a large Baja Blast and a small Baja Blast. And then you have a smattering of rubber ducks and rubber chickens, and for some reason a large cloth pumpkin.
It's actually a pumpkin pillow.
A large cloth pumpkin pillow, evidently. And these are
think
all
it's
the
very
things that
tasteful.
Williams came back with this morning and set on the table. Now, you may ask, what do any of these things have to do with our episode? And I know some of the answers, but I don't know all of them. Oh, also, there's also a very loud button that I have lost privileges to.
As has Joseph lost
As
his privileges too.
I still have my button privileges.
Caroline still has
I'm
her
winning.
button privileges.
Goodness. This morning I set out for this seemingly simple task of buying rubber ducks. Because the topic of today's episode is the history of rubber ducks. We've been teasing this since episode 3 of the podcast. It was about time. So I went out to get rubber ducks. And where do you think you're going to get rubber ducks from? Like, what's the first store you think of?
Dollar
Walmart.
Tree.
The Dollar Tree. Well, I go to the Dollar Tree. I walk in there. I scour the shelves. Albeit, there were some empty shelves. So I don't know if they need to restock. But you don't just sell out of rubber ducks, do you?
Yes, of course. Everyone buys rubber ducks all of the time.
Okay, well, you say that.
They're much sought after.
I went to 4 different stores.
What?
4 different stores. I first went to the Dollar Tree, and then I was like, well, you can't go to the Dollar Tree and just walk out without having bought anything. And
Wow.
I'm like, what do I get? And what would be valuable to the podcast? And I was like, well, there's this answer button, and I didn't quite know what noise it'd make. I assume it'd make a small beep, but this thing makes
Demonstrate
quite
it for
an
us,
annoying
Williams.
loud beep. Here it is. You probably hear it through the mics.
Williams, let me
No, we're not. No, you lost your privileges.
But I want to push the button. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty loud, and it goes for a long time.
for way longer than you'd
It's
think
not
it would
like
go.
if it was just like, then it would be okay, but it goes forever.
And we'll probably use this for a little bit of trivia.
Oh.
I
Okay.
love trivia.
Wow.
So good at
Is it rubber duck themed trivia?
It might be. It just might be.
Ooh.
And so that's why I got that for. And then I was like, we need to decorate. It's becoming fall here soon.
It's August.
And I saw that pumpkin. I thought, that's tasteful. Caroline, you're a woman. Is that tasteful? You know about. You probably care about more about home decor than the rest of us do.
Well, I need to really feel the pumpkin in order to determine. Actually, I'm looking at it from the top, and it looks like a star.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
set it on the
Very pumpkin-y.
table, Caroline. You're not standing over it.
Well, what are you, a child at face height at the table?
Don't
Wow.
answer that.
I'll have you know I spent $5.
Actually, it's a very soft pillow. It's much softer than I anticipated. So I vibe with it. In fact, this lives on my lap now.
Okay, it will not stay there forever
That's okay.
because that is our pillow now, Starks.
All right.
For
I just
our
got
abode.
partial ownership of a pillow.
Nice.
I just gained $2.50.
When we break up as
Pillow.
roommates, I get
Overall
custody.
What? Wait, no, we're going to court over this.
Let's split the pillow in half.
Yes.
King
So-
of Solomon.
Yeah, let's split it.
That's what I got at the Dollar Tree, and then right
I like
next
this
door was a
pillow.
Big 5 Sporting Goods. I thought that's not a bad place to look for a duck, and it's right next door.
Wait, what about Rubber Duck says sports to you?
No, because they just have a whole bunch of random stuff. You know, they got little toys and. Have you ever been in a Big 5?
No.
I think they're dying. To
They
be
do
honest.
have a lot of stuff.
To be honest, they have frisbees and like all these toy things in the window. I was like, not a bad shot. As soon as I walk in, because they have no customers, the guy was right there. He's like, hey, can I help you find anything today? What you looking for? He's like, this is gonna. I said, do you have any rubber ducks? I'm like, I know it's an odd question. And he says, I don't think we do, but let me check. He goes into the computer system and starts typing away. And lo and behold, they do not have any ducks.
Good
so I
heavens.
said, thank you, sir, and I walked away.
Whoa. So you couldn't leave the Dollar Tree without buying something.
Well, yep,
But you
because
could
the
walk-
prices, Caroline.
No wonder Big
I
Five
had
is
to
dying.
save face. I had to save face. Yeah, I'm not saving Big 5.
I don't think anyone's shopping there anymore.
Yeah,
Evidently not.
if they want to be
apparently.
saved, they need to change their prices. Although I've heard they had decent prices on knives. I should have looked, but I was in a time crunch.
Yeah. Well, you don't have enough knives as it is, anyway. So
No man has enough knives, or women for that matter, Caroline. You need to stock up.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll take that under advisement.
Then I go. Macy's is right there as well. I thought it is quite possible for them to have rubber ducks at Macy's,
I can see that.
and so I go there. I go to the bath supply section. I go to the little toy aisle. I look at those little end cap things. Nothing. And so I start to realize I'm gonna have to go all the way out to Walmart. Wait, I mean it wasn't that far, but we were starting to get into a bit of a time crunch. It was like 8:30, or it was 9:38. We were supposed to start this at 10 or whatever.
I have a question. Are you aware there's a Walmart about 3 minutes from here?
Well, it wasn't by the time I. Are you
Well,
talking about the
that-
Springville?
Yeah, because you went to Provo.
No, I
for
went to
that.
Springville Walmart. It was 7 minutes.
Oh, so wait, the Dollar Tree next to the Macy's, isn't that in Provo?
No, it's right here.
Oh, there's another
almost
one.
across the street.
Well, there's a Macy's in Provo that's got a Dollar Tree next
There's
to
a
it.
lot of Dollar Trees everywhere. I think no
And a
matter
lot of
where you
Macy's
go.
in this
That's
area.
fair. That's fair.
But so I go to. I think at Macy's I got. No. Yeah, okay. I went to Walmart then, and I looked through the toy aisle, which I thought that's probably going to be it. Nothing. I had gone through the bath aisle earlier. I saw this little live duck thing. It's like a little robot duck. I thought this might be the solution that I have to go with. I didn't really want to, because we're talking about rubber ducks, not animatronic ducks. I think they have two very different histories.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walk around some more. I'm like, I'm gonna try the party aisle as a last resort. And lo and behold, you notice we got pink, blue, and yellow ducks.
Oh, are these gender reveals?
These are gender reveal ducks.
What are the yellow ones for?
I think those are just ducks. They're like,
They're
well,
just
we're gonna
ambiguous.
put regular ducks in with the gender reveal ducks. That way you don't know,
Well, I think it's before you reveal the gender. You have a bunch
Yeah.
of normal ducks.
I just better like the idea of it just being ambiguous. We don't know.
We didn't check. Sorry.
Thanks for coming to our gender reveal party.
Yeah, we'll know when they're born.
We're having a baby.
Yep. Oh,
Woo!
also at Macy's, because I was like, well, what am I going to get at Macy's? Because what if I'm not able to get to Walmart and what about all this stuff? And they had rubber chickens.
Oh.
And these are not just your ordinary rubber chickens, you're meant to fling them. We might have a competition at some. Hey, keep them. You can shoot them at Starks. I don't care.
Ah, I've been wounded.
Wait, are you supposed to pull the feet?
I
This
assume
is
so.
mine now.
Yeah, you're supposed to pull the
All
feet.
right, you own 50% of them.
That
Part
is
of the
true.
podcast.
This is the best investment I ever made.
I actually
Okay,
really
and
happy
then
with these chickens.
At Walmart, I got the ducks. I'm like, well, I got to get some sodas too for everyone. And so I got those small ones, some of those small ones that are on the table. But I couldn't find the strawberries and cream that I knew that Caroline liked. Because I know that Joseph likes himself a
They're
Baja
tiny.
Blast.
Yeah, buddy.
I know Caroline likes her a strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. I know Starks likes him a nice Sprite. And I know I like me a Dr. Pepper. Classic. Classy.
For context, the small bottles are the
Well-
20-ounce, normal size bottles, and the big
Don't
ones
patronize me.
are the 1 liter size bottles, which I don't think that's
Size size is subjective, Joseph.
Yeah. To a giant, these would all be really
Yeah,
small.
yeah, it's true.
I mean, I already drunk half a liter of Baja Blast
That is
since getting
true.
here about 30 minutes ago.
And Mom, you'd be proud. I have hardly even touched this Dr. Pepper. They see it.
It is true.
So,
I can testify to this.
Let me see. So I thought maybe they're going to have a strawberries and cream at the local convenience store over here. So I go there, the 5th store of the day, and they didn't. So I just got big versions of everything. It's like, those are tiny. We're not going to survive on those. 20 ounces.
I appreciate your sacrifice, Brandon.
Yeah,
I
it
do.
was quite
Thank
the
you.
wild ride this morning. Quite the wild ride.
It sounds like a great time, Williams, and I'm proud of you. You know that?
Thanks, Starks. It means so much.
No.
Starks, please stop doing that. You're hurting the rubber duck and the rubber chicken's feelings.
For some
They're
context,
probably going to be a little scarred.
Starks just took the nose of the rubber chicken and stuffed it up the
The air
hole of
thing,
the rubber duck.
Nothing wrong. It just has suction when you squeeze the rubber duck. So I was just.
He has them both in his hand. He's playing around. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like a kid
It's
in a
true.
candy store.
It's true. I'm a kid in a rubber duck store. Anyway,
And Joseph's doing a little role playing where he's got like a mom and dad duck.
we're having quite a
They're
bit of fun
kissing,
over
and
here.
then whoa.
Well,
Okay.
that's one way to do it, Joseph. Anyway,
I would like it to be known that the rubber chickens have butt cracks. And it kind of makes me happy.
I think it's just to fling stuff.
They've got
Oh,
no, those are
okay.
real butt cracks.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's go on to the history of ducks.
This for rubber ducks. First, shall we start with a little bit of trivia? No, sir. Okay. Now let's not abuse the button. Let's only hit it if we have an answer. Okay. This is a lot of trust I'm having because this is a long ring on this button, and I just don't want that constantly going on for the rest of eternity. Okay, it's right there between you three. Can I trust you all to use it responsibly?
Brandon,
Starks?
have I ever let you down?
I'm not going to answer that, Caroline.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Not yet, but there's still room.
But it's close.
All right. So let me go over to my my page here for my trivia. All right. First question. I don't want y'all to cheat, so I'm going to move this computer a little bit. National Rubber Duck Day is celebrated every what day?
July. No, not July. I think it's July 17th.
Incorrect.
Ah.
You two have the opportunity to steal the day.
September 3rd.
Actually,
Okay.
isn't it in?
You have to ring the button. Well, actually, no. That's gonna be no.
It's in
Caroline, last
January.
chance.
Yeah, October 17th.
Incorrect. It is January 13th. Fun
Oh my
fact: the
gosh!
day before my
That
birthday.
was my second guess.
That's my sister's birthday.
Wow, your
And
you
sister and I are
didn't
so
know that?
close.
I've been getting her the wrong birthday present.
Yeah.
You should and be
Yeah.
like, it's National Rubber Duck Day.
Okay.
Your happy birthday.
Well, my birthday is the same as Vladimir Putin's birthday, so you know
Wow.
my gifts are themed around him.
What a wonderful
You send him
day.
some gifts. He sends you some
Yeah,
gifts.
we're
Or
pen
maybe
pals.
his gifts are centered around you.
Wouldn't that be sweet? He's like this young boy and this young man in America. You know, I just love it.
Yeah, I think he really
Joseph.
likes America.
Let
that
freedom
Putin.
ring.
He's like, we had a leader, also named Joseph. I'm really a big fan.
Spelled differently, but it's fine.
All right. The bathtub toy gained massive popularity in the 70s due to what TV show?
Sesame Street, the Rubber Duck song.
Very correct. Good job, Joseph.
That checks out.
Rubber Ducky.
We may have to pass on the button. I'm wondering if they even heard your answer.
It was Sesame Street with the Rubber Ducky song. Or I think it was Ernie sung it.
Yep. Very good.
Holy cow.
What's his brother's name?
You
for
rubber
an
ducky
extra point?
enthusiast.
Is he just
Bert.
Bernie?
Bert.
Or
What if-
Bernie?
I feel like we're not going
Ernie
to get
and
very
Bert.
many of these right, unless you think we are. What if we make it to the closest person wins? With guesses.
Starks. Just keep playing how I intended.
Okay.
You're just sore because you're losing.
I am sore because I'm losing. I have 0 points. Although January 13th was my second guess.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was.
Well, weren't you saying sometime in January after?
Yeah.
So if you want, I can give Joseph 2 points.
No, I
'cause,
think it's fine.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Give Joseph 2 points. He deserved it.
All
He
right,
earned it.
2
Look at
points.
this guy.
Going for the clean sweep.
Oh,
All right.
I know my Rubber Ducky.
Third
guy.
question. Ready? Rubber ducks help scientists learn what about the ocean?
I'm not gonna actually ring in, but
Flow.
I'm ringing in.
Oh, yeah,
Currents.
flow. That makes sense.
Okay, well, Joseph technically was the one who was going. Well, yeah, we might take away. Is there a way I can turn this off? My screwdriver's in the
Let me
other
see.
room. Or just stick a piece of
Eh,
paper in there or something.
It's
We
just,
could
it's
just
fine.
throw a duck at you.
Well, that was the waste of
Whoever's
Just
a
duck
waste of
tap
a
the
dollar.
duck.
first.
$1.25. Yeah, tap the duck.
Not my duck, though. This yellow duck.
What
It's
do you have
an
against the yellow
ambiguous
ones?
gender.
It's
Yeah, let's not hit the pink ducks or the blue ducks.
Yeah.
'Cause those are people.
We're being very classist about Duck Society, Rubber
We
Duck
are.
Society.
We know what we're about.
Okay, let me. Okay. The first rubber ducks weren't what we knew today. What were they first used for?
Chew toys for dogs and babies.
no,
Very good, Joseph.
Oh my goodness. He studied. This
no.
reminds
I
me of
didn't.
college.
What is the name of the individual who has the world's largest rubber duck collection?
Frederick T.
Swizzle.
Swizzleheimer.
Incorrect.
It's me, and you can't deny. You don't have enough facts. to
Well,
deny it.
proven by the Guinness World Record.
They're corrupt.
It's me is a,
They
is
they
a
don't
weird
understand. Caroline, you have a chance.
I do not have a chance.
All right, if someone can guess the first letter that her first name starts with, or first or last
A, B,
name.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P,
Starks,
Q,
you
R,
have to
S, T,
choose
U, V.
one.
I already
That's
guessed
cheating.
a bunch. W.
Joseph?
I think it's a solid O.
All of you are incorrect. Should I just
tried my
give you?
best.
I'm just gonna give you the
Just give it to
It's
us.
Charlotte Lee.
That was my second guess.
And I watched a
believe you,
video.
Starks.
Thank you.
I watched a video on this lady. A little wild. I'll tell you about it perhaps here in a moment. I think that's all I have for the trivia. It's a little lackluster because I searched for different trivias and I just found some fact pages, and so I had to convert some of the
I see.
facts into questions.
It was a
I can
Real
tell
fun.
you a
That's
fun
fair.
fact about little rubber duckies. Once upon a time, scientists, NASA actually, took them up to Greenland, and they had this really expensive probe, and they dropped it in the glacier, and they were like, yeah, then we'll see where the glacier comes out, or like how the flow works, how it flows out. And they lost the probe. So then they were like, we'll just do rubber duckies instead. So they took rubber ducks and wrote on them, like, this is a science duck, turn it in for a reward. And that happened in 2012, and none of the rubber duckies have been found.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
They just got thrown in the glacier, and they're probably still there.
fun fact, like we talked about earlier, scientists use them to study the flow and stuff. Well, I think the first instance was like in 1991 or 1992. This cargo container full of rubber ducks spilled into the ocean. And so there were like hundreds or like thousands of rubber ducks just floating around, and they didn't have the hole in them like these do, I guess. And so they could just keep floating. And they traveled all over the world, and they're still turning up sometimes.
Oh,
And
really?
like people like offer a reward like $50 or whatever if you find one because they're collectors. And
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think there was a group of scientists who was offering $100 worth of U.S. bonds for anyone who turned one in.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Isn't there a city that does like a duck float?
I think
Many do.
one float or because
Like,
I saw
they
a video
they
in
no, they
Chicago.
They will
yeah,
like flood the river with
I think
ducks.
that's the Chicago River.
Oh, is that Chicago?
I think it's Chicago or around the area, somewhere in the
There's
river.
a couple cities that do charity floats where
in Europe.
races where you pretty much pay an amount of money to a charity to get a duck for your team, and then a bunch of people do that. So they have a bunch of ducks that they let go, and the first duck to cross the finish line, whatever team that was on, that charity gets even more money.
Oh,
So I know
that's
they do that
cool.
in a couple different places in the world.
that's really
The
cool.
largest one, I believe, was in London in the Thames. 250,000.
We know a lot about rubber ducks.
Holy
We
cow!
might have
Have
done
you
our
guys been
research.
researching?
We did do some last night.
Starks,
That's-
you're the one who hasn't prepared.
Holy cow! This is just like college.
And you're still passing.
I keep wondering how
maybe.
it happens like this.
I don't know why everyone else knows the answers, but I don't.
Goodness. Rubber ducks are what I was gonna say along the lines of crazy stuff that goes on with rubber ducks. Did y'all hear about the people with Jeeps and the rubber ducks?
Oh, yeah. They're putting
Well,
Jeeps on the rubber duckies.
What?
Or rubber duckies on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Jeeps.
That'd be awkward if it was the other way around.
Yeah, for sure.
Giant rubber duckies. But so I don't know if you looked around because I hadn't noticed this. Emily brought it to my attention, and there are a whole bunch of Jeeps with just decked out with rubber ducks, and I guess they kind of trade them back and forth. It started in 2022 or something, so I guess that was kind of the end of quarantine, wasn't it? Around the end of
About
I
all
don't
the
know.
COVID
I heard
stuff,
about
I
it
don't know.
recently, but that just could be because I'm uncool.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of news outlets who are really excited about that and that are just bored and didn't have enough stuff to do. And so they researched the topic and they traced it back to some lady who was like, yeah, rubber ducks on the Jeep. It's really cool. And
So they just trade them?
yeah, and they try and get different ducks. And
Well,
I don't know if they do it when the other people are looking or if they're just
I
supposed
think
to be
they
a
do it when they're
quiet
not.
thing. Yeah.
Because I saw this one TikTok video of this girl who put a rubber ducky on a Jeep, and she came back out and they put it back on like her car, and they cut its head off.
Whoa.
Yeah, 'cause
Duck
they were
violence.
salty about the duck.
Oh my goodness.
I
So-
was offended.
I don't have a Jeep, but I do have a couple ducks. Not rubber ducks, but a couple ducks in my car. There's this one that hangs from my front mirror called Barty, He kind of hangs down. He's really cool. He has sunglasses and everything.
That is a pretty cool deck.
And he did try to commit suicide once and got to go to the doctor, but we got him all fixed up.
Okay, good.
And, he's fine now.
Good. He's
Well,
happy.
that's good. We like healthy ducks. I think it's interesting, all the stuff that surrounds everything. And that's why we wanted to go over this topic. It's an important one in our society today.
Mm-hmm.
We need to know about rubber ducks and their relevance.
I think rubber ducks unite us.
Yes.
I didn't quite realize the amount of rubber duck enthusiasts. I didn't realize that we had one at work.
Emily?
No, Madison
Ma-
really
she
likes
likes
her rubber ducks,
rubber ducks?
apparently. And this lady,
Huh.
Charlotte Lee, she's a professor at like the University of Washington or whatever, Washington State University, something like that.
Wow.
And she just has the largest rubber duck collection. It was funny because she was talking about her rubber ducks, and she's like, I remember the reporter was asking her when she first started her collection, and what was her husband's reaction? She just brought a few home just to, I guess, spruce up the place or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we're divorced now. It wasn't over the rubber ducks, she says. But I have a feeling that she started bringing home a few too many, and he started to go, well.
You know what? I would divorce my husband if he brought home too few rubber ducks.
Whoa.
How much
Yeah.
is too few?
Joseph's
Asking
trying
for
to
a
calculate
friend.
how many he's going to have to buy.
Joseph's looking for the bare minimum here.
We
Yeah.
have to beat Charlotte Lee to get the record.
Good luck.
Or
she has a whole bunch of duck and
How many
crazy
does she
and wild.
have?
Over 9,000. So,
Is that a
ballpark,
reference?
I'd go for
Yes.
11,000 just to make sure, Joseph.
Yeah, well, as soon as she realizes you're catching up,
Why
Ooh.
don't hear me out? I buy the factories that they make them in, and so she can't even get any more.
create a monopoly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen how
This
they were
feels
made? I watched a video on it.
diabolical.
No.
Honestly, it's kind of unremarkable.
Wait,
So
wait.
sad.
Williams, what's the history of rubber ducks? When were they made? Do we know?
Yeah,
Like the 1840s?
I think that's when they were first made. Like they said, it was a chew toy type thing. It was made by, I assume it's the guy who founded Goodyear Tires or
Yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Because his name was Goodyear, and he's the guy who kind of revolutionized rubber and stuff by creating vulcanized rubber.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't know if y'all know. Did you know what? Okay,
Yeah.
tell us about
I have
vulcanized
no
rubber.
idea.
Vulcanized rubber is rubber. I believe that it's easier to mold. It's kind of squishy like a rubber duck, and I believe it doesn't just like melt with heat. And you add sulfur to normal rubber, however they do it, I'm not sure, and then you get vulcanized rubber.
Yeah, it's like it's a mixture of rubber with a few other ingredients, whether it's synthetic or natural, whatever, and they create the polymer bonds are. I think it's staggered or something. They're linked in a special way that makes it a lot tougher than regular rubber is, less sticky. You can mold it and do stuff with it. And that was the first.
Interesting.
However, they changed. There was I think it was an artist who he wasn't making any money with his art. He was a sculptor, and so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna make toys," and he kind of started creating rubber ducks as we know them today. And he started making them out of plastic, which is hilarious that we still call them rubber ducks because I think they're
They're actually
exclusively
plastic.
made of plastic
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, the rubber
I
that they're
think-
made of is kind of plasticky, right? Here, can I see one of the?
It feels pretty rubbery.
Yeah, but it's also not rubber. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's made in Yiwu, China.
Whoa, this one is too.
No
Big
way.
shock.
Yeah. And then they're popularized even heavier in the 70s when Ernie
the Rubber
sang
Ducky
his
song
special
came out?
song. I didn't realize that was a top 16 Billboard hit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. People were real big fans.
I don't know what. Maybe it's just a generational thing.
Well, I mean, right now, if you go on like YouTube, the most viewed videos are always like kids' videos for the most part.
That's
And
true.
so I think it's just kids listen to the same song over and over and over again. And
That
it
is
becomes
true.
The top
That's
But you
fair.
whatever.
can't really do that in the 70s.
on the
You
radio.
can't go on the YouTubes.
Well, yeah, but I
You're
don't
gonna
know
have
how
to
they
go
do
out
it.
and buy a record.
Yeah.
You can do radio requests.
Yeah.
True.
I wonder how do they measure the bill? I don't know how they measure the Billboard hits.
Using
Just
dark magic. It's actually how they do it. They sacrifice a goat, and then they know.
Oh, wow. They know how many records are bought.
It's actually really convenient. No research needed, just one goat, and boom,
Wow.
Huh.
The things you learn.
This is 100% factual, and you can look it up.
Okay, where can I look it up?
You can't use Google because, they're big media.
Yeah,
they're trying
big
to stop
tech
you.
trying to stop us from learning facts.
But I
Gotta
have a
sacrifice a
very
second goat.
specific book that, I found at a Goodwill once that talks all about it.
You can actually learn more than just about rubber ducks. It's wild.
Stuff in that book.
Goodness. So, you want to know how rubber ducks are made?
Of
I
course.
do.
Okay, strap in.
I've thought of nothing else.
They get the plastic ready and they heat it up pretty high so it's very liquid. And they grab these molds. At least this is how this one company does it. They're US based. So their ducks might be a little heavier duty than actually they definitely were more heavy duty than these.
And the
They put a
cheapest ducks you can buy.
Well, these were the only ducks I could buy. So I don't know where they sell the high end ducks, but obviously they've decreased in popularity or something. Because I could not find them for the life of me. It's crazy and wild. They have plastic toys of everything else at Walmart. Usually action figures, Pokemon. I found all those, but I could not find a rubber duck. Except in the party section.
At
For gender reveal
it's-
parties.
In today's world, everyone would recognize a rubber duck, but I don't think they're that novel. I think when they first came out, given like you said about the synthetic plastic and all that stuff,
I could see
they
the
probably
appeal.
were
'Cause they,
pretty cool that you could have something that would float like
Yeah.
that and almost perfectly upright.
a bath
like-
toy? Bath toys I think
Yeah.
used to be bigger in general. I don't think they're as big. I don't know, I don't have kids.
I think
but-
they're just in different spaces than you because I think kids like bath toys. and
Still?
Yeah.
I mean-
how often are you around bathing kids? I'm just
Not often.
so.
I well also I can't believe you'd say that considering I have tons of bath toys. Thank you.
But you always shower.
Yeah, but I have them. Rubber decks, little boats all the time.
Yeah.
It probably was one of the first things that you could make a bath toy out of that would actually last pretty long.
Yeah.
Because if you made it out of wood, I don't think you'd be carrying that around forever.
That's true. I could see the appeal. They're they have like a cute look to them. They're a little, they're fun and they're a bright color and they look happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you think rubber duck, you think happiness. That could be a slogan. We should start a rubber duck company. Think rubber
Yeah.
ducks, think happy.
Well, they might be happy on the outside. On the inside, they're just pain.
Just a bunch of hot air.
Also, a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Mm.
I believe that I used to throw rubber ducks at my brother.
You believe?
Yeah. I was just trying to remember that. I have a vague memory of chucking a rubber duck at him one time.
Which one?
Daniel.
Well,
That's
did he
my
deserve
brother
it?
just older than me. Well, almost certainly. You know how Daniel is.
Well,
Love him to death, but he deserved to have a rubber duck thrown at him.
he
from
probably
time to time.
wanted the rubber duck thrown at him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one question.
Okay.
They have rubber ducks. Why not rubber gooses?
Asking the real
We'll
question.
And
make
if anyone says anything about rubber geese,
Starts
then I swear I'm going to take that button and throw it at them.
the benefit of this is that we can corner the market on rubber gooses now.
Williams, you genius.
And you call them the silly goose.
That's a genius idea.
If we had merch, this
Write
would be
that
the
down.
time to really
Write
go
that
for
down.
it. Create rubber geese, and then we'll do like plush dogs or something.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, I was going to say, actually, this is the perfect time to transition into this. Because I was going to say this.
Okay.
You diehard fans, like you, Joseph, and you, Caroline.
Oh.
I know you guys listen to every episode, and you wait with bated breath for everyone. You may have noticed that it's been a minute since we did an episode.
You might be asking why.
Yes, you might ask why, and I'll tell you why. Because we are part-time podcasters. And William's had a big promotion. We both moved. I have been booked out the wazoo with stuff going on. And so basically, we, and this is a perfect segue from what you're talking about, because we don't have merch. Because we're part-time podcasters.
Yeah. you want us to be full time, you got to get really invested,
Yeah.
and I mean really invested.
Yeah, start sending us. If each one of you sent us $500,000, we wouldn't have to work anymore.
And we would sell merch.
Yeah. That's all it takes. It's not like you guys can't afford that.
Small price to pay for rubber gooses.
It's true.
And plush dirty dogs.
How much do you
I'll
want to be
smear them in
happy?
the mud myself.
Oh.
Don't
be
worry,
like-
organic, all natural mud.
It'll
for
be
you.
like that one.
Yeah.
They had that one streamer who was supposedly selling her bathwater. Williams will sell dirty dogs with his own dirt on them.
Goodness, I think we have a great business idea, and like you said, we just need just a little kick to start.
Yeah. So send that our way, or you guys don't care about the podcast.
You guys accept Venmo or
Yeah.
Cash App?
Then any way you want to send it to us, we'll make it work.
All right.
And you might
all
be
right.
wondering, how do we do that? What's their information? You just know.
If you're a true fan,
If
you
you're a
just
true
You'll
know.
just know exactly.
I
And
was
you have-
planning on
yeah.
doing carrier pigeons.
That
so-
works.
Carrier goose.
Oh, carrier goose!
Please don't use pigeons.
Yeah, we accept no other birds. In fact, I'm kind of disgusted we actually did this episode.
I know, but
Know
they're
thy
like a
enemy.
distant cousin, Starks.
I just want you to know, Williams, this is the first act of war against the goose side.
What do you
Okay.
mean? Yeah. We've been teasing. You're the one who started teasing this episode.
Williams, that's besides the point. You're the one who brought it up. Now, maybe I signed on to it before the episode started, but now I'm offended.
There's like a lot of people in the world today. Everywhere. With all different kinds of ideas. You all want to actually hear how these are made? I know I teased that
Yeah.
just a moment ago. And
yes, sorry.
I'd love to.
There's hot plastic.
they get the hot plastic. I think they get it to, I don't know, they use Celsius for some reason. We don't use that kind of measurements here.
That sounds.
So just know it was
un-American.
decently high in Fahrenheit. It was overboiling, I'm pretty sure. And they melt it down and they get these molds. And they put them in this oven. And it's specially made to where it flips the mold and like turns it.
Ooh.
So that way they put a little of the plastic inside the mold. And as they flip it, it creates the air pocket on the inside, just coats the outside of the mold.
Interesting.
Or not the outside of the mold, but the outside of the inside of the mold.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
Sure.
coats the mold.
Yeah,
The
so
form
it's
of the
just
duck.
rubber duck on the inside. So it's hollow.
Oh.
So it's hollow.
Yes.
And then they pull it out, the mold, and they stick it all in some cold water.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to pry the rubber ducks out of the mold. Then they send it on this assembly line where these workers by hand are taking not a lathe. It's the thing that smooths it out. Starks, you're a handyman. What's the tool that smooths out edges and stuff?
A
It's kind of like a sander, but it's a small little bit.
Sounds kind of like a lathe.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. But anyhow, they smooth out all the edges from the mold. Then they put on this assembly line. I was seeing these people. They had these little things where they just stuck the duck into it, just expose certain parts. So they just expose the beak, and they just spray it orange. They send to the next. They put on a little thing. And it shows just the eyes. Paint it black, and then they have this little thing that shows just the white part of the eyes. They spray painted that white.
Seems like a waste.
And or maybe they dotted the white. I don't know. They dotted some stuff on there too, and then they got it all. Then there was a lady putting weights in the bottom. Actually, like
Oh.
5 grams. What's 50 grams? What's 50 grams in American
Excellent question.
metric
That's
units?
some
I don't know.
ounces.
Like a tiny amount.
It looked a little bit more because she had a couple of these round weights on there. I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but she put it in so that way it wouldn't flip in the water, so it
Mhm.
could actually float. And then they cover it up with a little plastic piece, little round, and then they test them all.
Nice.
This little pond thing.
Oh my gosh, do you mean to tell me that they send the little rubber ducks on like a little ride before they go?
She just had literally just a small tub on the table, just with a little bit of water, just to make sure that they floated up right.
That's so much less romantic.
But if you want to imagine that she sends him on a little lazy river.
Right into
I
your
hope so.
shopping
If
cart.
that's better for you.
It would be so adorable if she had
know-
a little lazy river, and then at the end they like fell into little boxes and they got.
Soaking wet.
I'm going to revolutionize the way we test rubber ducks.
Different factories probably have different methods. That may exist.
That
Don't
makes
lose hope.
sense. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And if there is hope lost, then you can do it yourself. You still can
I'll do it
revolutionize
with your rubber gooses.
Yes, that's beautiful.
What do we think is the perfect rubber duck name? You know?
Bartholomew.
I have a rule
Yeah, I'm a
when
party.
naming animals. You almost always
Living
have to
or
use.
fake animals?
Yes. You have to use the same letter, with some few notable
Oh.
exceptions, as the animal. So, like for example, some notable ones were Ted the turtle, Harry the turtle, Gary the gecko, and so on and so
What
forth.
are the exceptions?
Perry the platypus?
I had one that I named Fred, and it was like a turtle. Like
See,
Fred
I've
the turtle.
never done a pet like that. But I feel like if you're going to name it like that, then you have to always do the adage, the whatever animal it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it starts to sound like Phineas and Ferb, but you know,
yeah,
I kinda
Perry
like
the
that.
platypus,
Yeah.
Peter the panda.
Dallin the
Didn't
duck.
they have a Pinky the chihuahua? That was a
Yeah.
little off-brand.
Well, the other thing too is, you know, the duck also has rubber. So I will accept Reggie
Wasn't
The
your
rubber
dog's
duck.
name Gus?
or Gary. Yeah, but I didn't name him personally. I
Oh.
cannot be held responsible for that.
Oh, I just thought your brother's dog, Donnie the dog.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that was intentional, but
I mean, with actual pets, I will actually stray from that rule.
what do you mean
it's usually-
actual pets?
Well, like the ones I'm talking to, most of them were
the
turtles.
ones you're talking to?
I'm talking about. I apologize. I do talk to animals on occasion. Most of the ones I'm talking about, they apply to animals that I see only in passing. Some of them turtles that I kidnap for a day from the wild.
What?
And then release.
I've done that.
I've done that. In Mississippi. When,
What?
Yeah,
They
have
just
turtles out
wander
there.
everywhere.
You
Yeah.
just go grab them, and you just
They're
like,
slow. They
"What's up?"
can't be.
That's
They
Terry
can't
the
run
turtle. I have a
away.
video of us putting Terry the turtle on the dash of our car and driving around with it.
Okay.
They do not like to eat in
The ducks
This
captivity.
at the
sounds like
park are
alien
free.
abduction.
You could
The ducks at the
we
park
set
are
them
free.
free.
You just take the ducks at the park home.
This is
Who's
just-
gonna stop
Yeah.
you? Just grab one.
Well, I know somebody.
I
actually
did once.
Close to here. They
I didn't take it home, but I picked it up because it was like super
What's
friendly.
wrong?
It wasn't that enthused. But then again, it's not like he could run. He was on a steady diet of park bread,
yeah.
Oh.
so it's not like he would have been able to
There
go
was
anywhere.
I knew somebody.
He was gonna come back, you know.
I knew somebody who had, I think it was a swan or a goose that was really mean as a pet, and they just went and dropped it off at the park, and it just lived there forever, and
Being mean to
just
everyone.
terrorized everyone, and everyone was like,
What?
"This is a terrible whatever it was," and they're like, "Where did it come from?" And they're, yeah, it was just funny because it was terrible, so they set it free.
This is a horrible time to maybe say this, but I've always wanted to go duck hunting. Just because I think it'd be a fun, enjoyable type of hunt. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, with deer and stuff, you go out and you chase them a little bit. I mean, you can kind of bed down and wait for them. You can do that sort of stuff. But with ducks, it's just you sit in a blind, ready to go with shotguns, which are fun, and it's not that hard to hit stuff with a shotgun. And then you just call them into this little pond where you got fake ducks sitting there.
Come
just
join
like
your
you
brother
shoot
in.
him, you
You'll
get
be
'em.
fine.
You
It
can get a
feels
whole
like
bunch.
Cheating.
What?
This is cheating. You're not gonna go out and actually hunt for it. You're just like, I'm gonna sit
You
here
are
and
actually
I mean-
hunting for it.
I mean, to be fair though,
and then
guns
learn
That's how you
them.
do
themselves
it.
are cheating. Like
That's fair.
you see hunters. Hunters are not generally. I mean,
And I
plenty
think
of
it'd be
them are,
fun to
but
eat duck.
plenty of
I had it a
hunters are not
long
an
time
athletic
ago.
breed.
But yeah,
If we had to hunt animals with like spears and swords,
I'm ready. Let's go.
I think you would have way less hunters in the world.
Hmm.
So guns themselves are cheating. Animals probably have no idea what the heck guns are. They're like, I heard a sound really far away, and now my
and
leg's
Fred
not
just
working.
dropped. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, seriously.
So for the very first unofficial fan meetup of Dogs and Gooses, we're going fox hunting medieval style. We'll get a bunch of horses, get a bunch of retainers, dress up all nice, and just chase down those foxes.
I like it.
Shoot them with
down.
bows.
I'm all in.
All right, you guys know the time and place. We'll just
Yep.
meet there.
Yeah.
We'll
And all the
we'll
real
be there.
fans will.
Everyone
We'll
will
know.
know. Yeah, everyone meet there.
Goodness. But yeah, duck hunting, I would definitely do.
But not rubber duck hunting.
We can.
We did that
I
this
kind of want to
morning.
shoot a rubber duck with a shotgun now. Now, one of these yellow ones, of course, because they're ambiguous. But we kind of see what happens.
We could take him shooting. It'd be cooler if we could fill him with stuff like colored water or something.
That could be fun.
Tannerite.
Right.
We would have to we'd
it'd
have
be
to cut
hard
them
with the-
open. We'll make it. That'd be cool though.
That would be cool. We'll figure it out.
We're not rubber duck haters, by the way. At least I don't think we are.
No, it's just fun to see things explode sometimes.
Yeah. Caroline, what are your
I'm on a
thoughts?
podcast with a bunch of guys, and I've never been more sure than in that moment.
I love the automatic. I heard 2 automatic yeahs, and Caroline stayed quiet.
Well, that's her loss.
Yeah, I
She doesn't
know.
want to shoot up
Exploding
with rubber
things are
ducks.
fun, Caroline.
Well,
Mhm.
so I've heard. Haven't tried it yet.
I feel like rubber ducks are just the symbol of youth.
Yeah.
And of ducks and rubber.
Don't they put little, unlike announcements for for babies? Don't they put little ducks and stuff on there
A
usually?
lot of times, yeah, they do.
Yeah, like baby
Little rubber
animals,
ducks.
I think.
Well, a lot of this is a little bit more sad. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but a lot of headstones that have like babies in them or
Uh-huh.
small kids will have pictures of rubber ducks.
Really?
Normally, I see the little
It's one of
lamb
the-
on top.
It's one of the most
Yeah.
iconic like children's toys.
It is.
Yeah. If we need some stone rubber ducks, you go to a graveyard.
Oh
and
my
stone
goodness,
rubber ducks.
Joseph.
No,
That was dark.
Yeah. That was a joke.
no, we know.
I did see a child's grave with a transformer on it. Like
Oh,
carved
really?
into the-
That's kind
Oh,
of
that's
neat.
He must have been a cool kid.
With cool parents. Anyway, on lighter subjects than children's graves. What else do we know about rubber ducks? Or is that pretty much the edge
We
of our
talked a
font of
lot
wisdom?
about rubber ducks.
Whoa,
We
whoa,
have.
whoa.
We could talk about the philosophy of rubber ducks.
Weren't we gonna name one of them?
Oh yeah, we
As
didn't
we
really
got
get a
off
good
track.
name.
Oh, we were.
What about the Duke?
The
The
No,
Duke?
Duke's too
That's more of a
close to
title.
You could call him whatever you want.
We
Duke
could,
the
we
Duck.
could name him Dallin the Duck the Duke.
No, down the Duck Duke.
the Duke of
I
Ducks.
hereby dub this duck, whatever we dub it. What are we dubbing it? The Duke is his title.
Dallin the Duck.
I feel like he needs a
Dallin?
mustache. Do we
We're
have
okay
a
with
Sharpie?
Dallin? Well, we're going to have 2 of them, Williams. We're going
Okay.
to grab another one.
Well, we got to do one girl, one guy.
Yeah,
Obvious.
come
Well,
on.
yeah.
Well, these ones are for Williams and I.
Oh,
Here, we'll
okay.
just take
Oh.
all 4 of them. And this is this group right here.
All right.
How excellent.
I need a Sharpie soon, but we'll wait. We can do it after the podcast. I wish we had like a Snurdly or whoever Joe Rogan's assistant is.
Jamie,
Jamie, yeah, a Jamie, a Snurdly,
a sidekick.
a famous assistant, Minion,
Yeah, minion.
and
Well, whoever donates $500,000.
They get
We'll
They-
allow
they-
you to work for us with no pay.
Yeah. if enough people donate $500,000, we might give you a $2 bill. It'll be brand new though.
Yeah,
Rest assured,
crisp.
We'll go to a bank
Crisp.
and get that sucker.
And every time we do a podcast, we
Yeah.
do $2.
Yeah, Williams, you know what I really
Mm.
want to hear about before we close on the rubber ducks?
Sure.
I want to hear the story that you talked about yesterday of the rubber duck that got stolen from someone's
Oh.
house.
This is
What?
wild. You got to ask yourself, or ask the question in general, why? So, this family, they had a little. It wasn't quite a pond. It was just a large puddle outside. You know, sometimes it rains really hard, and you got a stagnant puddle. I don't remember where in the U.S. this was, but it was here, in the U.S. And one of the kids had left a duck. It was a little bit bigger of a rubber duck, but it was still a rubber duck. And he just left it sitting in the puddle, and then they noticed that it's just gone. Overnight, it vanishes. Like someone stole our rubber duck.
Wow.
A couple months later, I think, maybe it was a few weeks, I don't know. They start getting postcards from the rubber duck, going on these world adventures, like traveling the globe. He's gone to Europe. He's gone here, there, everywhere. And and then I think like a few months later or a year later or something, they get this picture of him in the suitcase, and then one day on their doorstep, there's the duck with the suitcase just full of all these world traveling items.
That's pretty good.
That's so cute.
Like, what kind of guy just steals a rubber duck? He's like, this is how you really get them.
I kind of want to steal
And
a rubber
takes
duck
it around
now.
the
I want
world.
to do that.
And then brings it back with all this memorabilia. Like their kids must have been like, wow, this is so cool.
Maybe that's why he did it. He was like, I'm gonna freak these kids out.
Or was it just the parents photoshopping pictures?
No, parents, they're like, yeah, but it just disappeared. I don't know. It was some random, would you call that a good Samaritan?
A neutral Samaritan.
A neutral
Chaotic neutral Samaritan.
Because they invested a lot to take that little duck around the world and to get all the stuff for it.
That's true. Very true. Does that conclude our rubber ducks? I think that's a good closing story.
But that drove me up a while. I was like, wow, that is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we do have two important questions. I'll ask the first one, Williams.
Okay.
And then you want the second one?
Sure.
All right. Caroline,
Yes.
as is tradition, Williams has started to grow back his mustache. Now, I want to note, it's not in full bloom. You've seen it in full bloom, though.
I have.
We ask every woman
who comes on the podcast to rate his mustache.
as far as mustaches go, on a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't feel like this is a good environment to do this in because Joseph is threatening me.
I did no such thing. The microphone didn't pick up anything, so it didn't happen.
It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I think this environment.
No proof it didn't happen.
Brandon,
Answer the question.
for your specific mustache, which is not whether or not I like mustache.
Correct. Well, that's always a different question. And most of the girls that we've had on here, they're like, we don't like mustaches.
He does it for him.
But
He doesn't dress up for you.
Yeah.
just for the male gaze, Brandon.
Anyone at this point is it's a real struggle out here.
I will rate your mustache personally in full bloom a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, why so low?
It's so low.
That is pretty low.
Yeah.
Okay, an 8 out of 10. Is
Well,
that-
you don't have to lie.
Don't give in to peer
Okay?
pressure.
I'm just curious as
Stand
to
your
why.
ground. He just wants to know why. Insult him to his face.
To his
Don't hide
mustache.
it behind.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever you're hiding
I
behind.
do think it fits your face. It makes you look older, which I don't. Think.
That's part of the point loss.
Yeah. You
Okay,
no
what's the other
longer
point of
look
it?
26. You look like 30.
Mm.
But I don't know.
So
I think it just makes me want to play catch with you. Speaking of,
it
You wanna
kind of
play
makes you
catch
want to
with
go
the
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Dad, you want to go catch some baseball after
Here,
school
Starks.
today?"
Catch the duck.
oh, thanks, Dad.
I think if you're a dad and you have the mustache, Brandon, then it will be a 10 out of 10. That's like your
Right,
final
okay.
evolved form.
My final form. Dad Brandon.
I think that's fair. It's a fair point. Okay, we respect the answer. Ish. I think the answer was 11 out of 10, but I guess
Not
everyone's entitled to their opinion,
Yeah.
even if it's wrong.
Yes. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Off the podcast. We'll have a nice chat.
Brandon, if I don't come into work on Monday, know that I'm dead.
Well, you
It
win some, you
happens.
lose some. All right, the
It is what it
second
is.
and probably the most important question. Joseph has answered this before on the podcast.
Remind us what you are.
I am a silly goose.
Yes!
All right, Caroline. The question of the hour is: are you a dirty dog or a silly goose, and why? Tell us a little
Well,
bit about why.
if you read the comment that I left on your first video,
I did,
okay. See, there you
but I don't
go.
know. Things change.
Things change.
People change. Things change.
Not in this regard, but we should check.
You would know that I am a silly goose.
Okay,
Thank
but
goodness.
why?
But why?
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
it.
hate being serious. And being fun is much better than being serious.
That's what a silly goose would say.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was holding this button just in case she said "dirty dog." I've been holding it for 20 minutes just waiting
Wrong.
to.
It's so much longer than you think it's gonna be.
It goes on forever. I hope that they can hear it on the microphones, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
any closing comments? Do you have anything you'd want to say on the podcast? Going and plug your business again, Joseph.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Provo-ish area, I can travel. And you need your windows clean. I do it pretty cheap.
And from everything I hear, it's quite a good job. Quite a good job.
Great
Joseph.
job.
He does a great job. I recommend it.
Fantastic job. Phenomenal job, some even
And
say.
that's Sparkling Vista.
Window cleaning.
Window
Sparkling
cleaning.
Vista window cleaning.
And after he's done, he always says, "Now that's a Vista window."
Guaranteed. And if you say you heard me from the podcast, I'll give you 20% off.
Whoa!
What a deal!
Good price.
Lucky listeners, y'all are. All right, Caroline, anything you want to say?
I love you, Joseph.
Oh, thank you. I love
Look
you
at
too.
these two.
Oh, look at him getting all cutesy.
All right, let's make out.
Love silly gooses, Except love birds, get it? So
love you,
clever.
Ducky.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
And as a parting gift, we're going to gift each of you at least rubber deck, probably several.
Let's go.
And Joseph, because
Well, they
you
keep
won
them
the
all.
duck sweepstakes with you're winning the thing, you get at least 2 or more. You get 1 more than everyone else. That's
Okay.
that's for darn
It's
sure.
true.
That's for
It's
darn
true.
sure. All right. With that, thank you all for being here. And,
They've got
Caroline.
to
Yes.
give the sign out.
I need you to close us with our motto. If
so
you don't know it, that's fine. Just make it up.
Just give your best rendition, as best you can guess.
Is the motto not what you said at the beginning? Like,
I don't
thank
know.
you for listening
Give your best
to Dogs
guess.
and Gooses. Where, as our associate Stark says, he's not really my associate, but I'll say it.
Y'all aren't even
We have
associates.
associated
Gooses.
before.
Yes. We're associating now, so
Yes.
it counts. Where the gooses are silly and the dogs are always dirty.